Hello, I'm Mantastic'c and today I want to talk about the new evolutions and upgrades that has just gone live in North America. So this video will be just talking about the cards that are not Common Rider, which will be covered in a subsequent video because that collab is returning to North America. But with that being said, let's take a look at the cards that we all currently hopefully own and see what exciting upgrades and or buffs they have received. So first things first, we have Hera Dragon's Weapon Assist. And I always call Hera Dragon Indra for some reason. Every time they show up in UN1, I'm like, this is Indra. It's not. Either way, this Weapon Assist provides you with a light sub-attribute awakening, along with an L, a heart orb enhance, and 2 light orb enhances. As a whole, this is not bad by any means. I feel like Weapon Assists have definitely undergone large amounts of power creep in terms of the amount of awakenings and what they can offer. So, as a whole, obviously for light-based teams, this can be helpful, especially if you're playing a team that has some issues healing. You can slap this on your card with the highest RCV, and it will definitely increase their healing output by a little bit, along with some extra OEs to spice up your damage. And again, in any dungeon that has negative orbs, enhanced orbs counteract them, so that is obviously a beneficial aspect. The active skill itself is only a 1-turn haste on an 8-turn cooldown. Nothing particularly amazing, though. For Dark Meimei's Weapon Assist, her Weapon Assist is incredibly similar to Manoa's, I feel. You have 1 less row, but 1 more team HP. And I say that because you get 2 turns of delays. For the most part, I feel like this is going to be utilized for the delay. So, yay, it's a delay with a bit more bulk and 1 less row. I feel like that's a fair compromise to make. Is that going to be necessary? Maybe, maybe not. I don't think I've ever even bought a Dark Meimei still. And now we come to Cammy, and Cammy has received several new evolutions, and this evolution I feel is one of the most adorable ones. I think it has one of the best icons. It's like Cammy looking all cute, hugging the Tendra. The Tendra is looking like it's having the time of its life. This is just wonderful from an aesthetics point of view, and looks do matter, so I like this card just from that point of view. But with that being said, this is actually still a strong card. They have double 10 combo with VDP and 4 enhanced Heart Orb Awakenings with a large RCV stat, which is going to be much bigger at level 120. So she can be a great healing solution with respectable damage output. And her active skill is a board unlock, creates 4 hearts at random, which in turn will enable you to actually match to heal up a large amount of health, along with a full cleric active skill on a 5-turn cooldown. That's a great cooldown. 5 turns is perfectly acceptable in this day and age. Some additional heart orbs is never a bad thing. You can use it either before or after your other orb changes depending on the type of team you use. And with her Super Awakening, she can gain another skill boost or skill boost plus or 2 more enhanced heart orbs. And the skill boost plus will give her 4 skill boosts total. It's not a bad thing all around. And remember, with a 5-turn based cooldown, you can easily inherit over top of her. And I think for a thematic purpose, you should inherit the Tendra on top of her because you know what? I like to put my Tendra on my clerics because it tends to be a good weapon assist overall. But the fun of Cammy does not stop there. She has 2 colored evolutions, and it is basically just a recoloring of older art, but I'm actually perfectly okay with that. I think it still looks pleasant overall. And the text for the names is starting to get comically tiny. I'm wondering, is there going to come a day when Gung Ho's going to, wrap the text around? But either way, Green Cammy has triple 10 combo, 3 enhanced wood combo awakenings, and the ability to gain either a 4th enhanced wood combo, a VDP, or 2 more skill boosts. Their active skill is a 5-turn cooldown that makes the board 7x6 for a single turn, which will counteract any board shrinkages that may occur or will occur in the future, along with an attack buff as well as a movement time buff. Again, it's a short enough cooldown to inherit something over top of it. You could definitely put your damage reduction or your absorption cancellations on top of her. Use the board expander when you get shrunken. I think it's a pretty nice aspect all around for any wood, possibly light-based team. And her water red form, I like the colors more personally, and it just has 7 combos galore. Did you have enough 7 combos? How many 7 combos do you want? The answer is yes. You want 8, which it could be 9. 9 7 combos. Truly outrageous when you really think about it. So, Seawolf, if you do remember who that individual is, can technically make great usage out of her, but a more modern twist would be Prim teams, because Cammy in her blue form, I think, has an absolutely spectacular active skill. You have no Skyfalls for a single turn, and then negative 2 seconds of orb movement time. Those are all considered kind of self-debuffs, so to speak. And anytime an active skill harms yourself, you greatly lower the cooldown. But at the same time, the no Skyfall and then movement time debuff will actually overwrite any existing no Skyfall buff and any other existing movement time debuff, so you're going to be able to counteract those mechanics. But the fun doesn't stop there, because you get a single turn of damage and attribute absorption cancellation on a blisteringly fast 3-turn cooldown. We have seen that there are plenty of instances where like damage absorption, color absorption are basically sprinkled repeatedly throughout the dungeon, and sometimes they don't line up perfectly like back to back, and you need to essentially kind of like use either a multi-turn active skill to solve it, potentially very long turn, or use somewhat of a low base cooldown. And in the instance of Cammy, it's kind of like Beach Mariel, who has another low cooldown for absorption cancellations. It's going to fulfill a similar role, but obviously her colors are much more suitable for like premium teams or Seawolf teams. So I feel like as a whole, I'm pretty excited about this card for the most part, because again, it's blue and big damage is always fun. Ameno is also getting another colored evolution, similar style to Cammy. Very similar awakenings. You're just changing and kind of inverting the colors overall. But Ameno has an active skill on a 2-turn cooldown. And this is important because 2 of them can create a system, and it makes water and dark orbs unmatchable for 1 turn. And that is, again, like a self-debuff, so to speak, but I'm going to presume you're going to be playing a mono light, maybe mono wood team with Ameno there, so the unmatchable doesn't technically harm you. And then in addition to that, you generate 6 wood and 6 light orbs at random. So I'm just trying to think of a leader that has the need to match wood and light orbs at the same time, and if one does come out, I feel like Amino would definitely be a great sub to utilize, even 2 of them, because large damage output with triple 10 combo, they can have up to 4 skill boosts, they have passive damage, they might get a VDP, but you probably have a void damage void, but the idea is you can make a system of orb generation as well as completely ignoring unmatchable, and in some dungeons like UN1, MD2, unmatchable is the only problem, so to speak. You don't need an actual cleric, so Amino can definitely solve that instance there. Ameno in his red water form, similar idea to Cammy, 7 combos galore, but their active skill is a bit different. You get a movement time and RCV buff for a single turn and a single turn of damage reduction. Now, this single turn of damage reduction may actually just be enough. There are plenty of instances where a small shield is all you actually need. So having a way to give yourself buffs and override negative debuffs is always wonderful. With a low base cooldown, you can inherit like an absorption cancellation on top of it, or a longer lasting shield, or whatever you actually need for the given dungeon. Ameno can definitely utilize that, and with 8 or 9-7 combos, it's kind of silly how much personal damage you can have, but of course there's kind of that wasteful aspect of like, if these were 10 combos, this would be much more efficient, but then maybe Seawolf teams or Prim teams, they don't really mind too much. Next is Red Milli, and Red Milli has a modest spread of awakenings. He has 10 combo 7/7, has, I don't even know what their super awakenings are, they don't show it, but that's okay. They're like an okay card with a 4-turn cooldown. It removes orb blocks, creates 3 fire and 3 hard orbs at random. You get 2 times attack for herself, 2 times attack for fire, and an orb movement time buff. It does a bit of everything, but it's not a low enough cooldown to like system like Ameno, and I just feel like she'll definitely be passed over for other options. Her leader skill is a heart cross, so like, okay, heart cross, yay. It's like, heart crossing was great many years ago. It's a little awkward now, I feel, for the most part. Heart crossing kind of just disappeared, I feel. Her weapon assist has been buffed to give 3 seconds of orb movement time in a single TPA. With an active skill that's much better, it gives you damage absorption and attribute absorption cancellation for 2 turns, along with being able to freely move orbs for 12 seconds. That can counteract a spinners, it counteracts absorptions, and is a large amount of movement time if you can justify squeezing it in on your team, because there are instances where I have teams that have enough bulk, have enough effective health, and I just need movement time to play a little bit more easily. This could be not a bad choice overall. Hera Dragon, not Indra, has received buffs to their awakenings, and they have 6 skill boosts, which is nothing to snuff at, along with modest personal damage, especially when their super awakenings are all over the place. It depends on the super awakening you pursue in the team they're utilized on. Maybe they could have large damage. They do give a 7x6 board when you enter as a leader, so maybe 7x6 shenanigans swapping with 6 skill boosts is not bad, and also gives a single turn of haste, so it could be a 7-turn effective skill boost card. I think it's not a bad thing overall, but at the same time, I never utilize this card. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to even start at this point. Dark Athena has 6 TPAs, 4 skill boosts, 3 enhanced dark combos, and their active skill now gives void damage void for 2 turns, and that same 3-turn delay and enhancing water dark orbs. That's cool. Again, Dark Athena was utilized for Arena 3, and that was definitely a long time ago. But in her new and updated form, she has respectable personal damage, because remember, she can get that 10 combo Super Awakening. So her awakenings are a bit more condensed. You have Jammer and Cloud Resist. I think Cloud Resist is new, and having natural resists can sometimes be nice, especially in the era of spawns removing your weapon assist, because many times I get my Cloud or Tape Resist through my weapon assist, and when your assists get removed, such as like an Alt MD4, you can have some issues when you enter the subsequent floor afterwards, so it could possibly help you out a bit there. Her active skill has been buffed to now give a personal attack buff, if I'm not mistaken, and dark attack buff, which is before. RCV buff, removes orb blocks, makes 5 dark orbs at random. It's a nice evolving active skill with a 3-turn delay plus 4 skill boosts. She's quite a heavy effective skill boost card, and the fact that she is farmable, so to speak, means that, we can at least acquire this card overall. Her weapon assist is now giving 100% blind resist and 4 enhanced dark orbs. You know what? Sometimes that can be useful overall, and it's also a 3-turn delay, so it's not going to be a bad thing to just utilize at the beginning of a dungeon to help yourself transform or swap into position. And remember, orb enhances are great for counteracting negative orbs in more modern dungeons. Ameno has now gained a 10 combo Super Awakening, and I'm just truly confused by how they want to match exactly 7 combos, but they get a 10. It's just confusing. I think his other forms are much more exciting. Their weapon assist, or their original weapon assist, I should say, has a skill boost, 2 enhanced fire orbs, a team HP, 40% poison resist, and a god killer. For a farmable card, this is not bad at all. And remember, with the Killer Buff Awakening, that is 5 times personal damage for the owning card. And if they weren't limit broken and have no way to increase their damage cap, it actually increases the damage cap by 20% per killer. So it can be a way for those transforming cards to deal more damage against those God-type spawns if you need a poison resist, if you need a skill boost and a bit of passive damage. It's not a bad weapon assist overall. I do find myself utilizing this weapon assist once in a while still. For Amen's newer evolution form, they have double 10 combo with the chance to get triple 10 combo now, so respectable personal damage with super blind resist. Their active skill is good if you can cut your health below 50%, because you get 5 times attack for fire and light and a massive shield for a single turn. And we know that big shields are always helpful because many spawns nowadays take multiple turns to kill, and being able to tank that usually they're below 50% hit is invaluable. For their other weapon assist, it's got an attack while below 50% and 2 team HPs. And right away, just from that alone, that's actually pretty spicy for any team that wants to have a card being below half health, because it's a 2.2 times personal damage increase, a large amount of health increase, and 40% jam resist as well. Just make sure it doesn't overcharge unless you actually like that active skill. Mutt has a weapon assist with almost as many awakenings as a regular card, so if you need bind resist, devil killer, some team RCVs, enhanced water orb, not a bad thing to have all around. Just be mindful of the fact that they could have a low base cooldown, so just avoid it overcharging. Mutt in her base form has 4 enhanced heart orbs, 10 combo, a bunch of crosses. I don't think I'm going to utilize her still. Maybe her other weapon assist might give you a bit of zest, because you get a cross awakening, which is always nice to have at least one on a given team. You get enhanced water twice, enhanced light orbs twice, and enhanced heart orbs. So 5 enhanced orbs overall with cross is not a bad thing overall. For Kansu, I kind of forgot that they existed. They just got a 10 combo Super Awakening, which doesn't really change what they do because they had no personal damage to begin with. But their other forms are a little more exciting. Their weapon assist has 3 wood rows, 2 enhanced wood orbs, a team HP, a team RCV, and a physical killer awakening. Again, for mono wood teams which don't truly exist right now, this could be not a bad option when you need some bulk and added damage, and especially if it's against physical type spawns. For their more modern evolution form, their active skill is now a 4-turn cooldown. Maybe it was a little higher, but they can remove orb blocks. They change the top to wood, the bottom to dark if your health is full. They can have triple 10 combo. They have natural tape resist. Maybe it'd be okay. I don't feel like I would be able to squeeze it in sometimes because the active skill doesn't really solve any problems. It's just an orb generator, and you probably have other orb generators anyways, and with a 4-turn cooldown, it's just too long to system it feasibly. Their newer weapon assist has an attack while above 50%, 4 wood rows, a super auto heal awakening. It's like a little bit of everything. I feel like The other one with the bulk added is a bit more easy to utilize, but again, maybe one particular card needs more personal damage, Wood Rose, and you don't really need extra bulk, maybe you could justify it. Image has received a multitude of different buffs in their non-weapon assist form, which is not what I use it for, but in their non-weapon assist form, they can have large amounts of personal damage with 5/7 combos, 2 TPAs. I don't remember what their Super Awakenings are, but their leader skill is actually a huge attack multiplier, 35 times attack with 5+ combos. So not too hard to do, but you have to remember you only have 6 seconds to move orbs, which can be a little awkward. You have to use Dragon Devil types. They have a large amount of effective health, but they have no healing recoveries or healing multipliers, so you must have a healing solution. I'm just trying to find great ways to use this card. It's a little awkward, I feel. Their active skill is an 8-turn cooldown that gives you 60% damage reduction for 2 turns, which is not bad at all. 3 times attack for Dark, 3 times RCV, and 3 combos for 2 turns. Like, it's giving you a multitude of different useful things. You do need those aspects most likely in any given dungeon, so if you can time it right on this 8-turn cooldown, it can possibly work out. Dark Meimei has received various buffs to herself, but I don't think it's going to be truly useful, unfortunately. Like I said, maybe that weapon assist, if you were using Dark Manoa and you wanted a bit more bulk and you're okay losing a row, sure. And that are all the buffs that came with this update. So, like, there was quite a few different buffs, and for the most part, they actually occurred on farmable cards, things that were monster exchangeable or monster point purchasable. So, I like that aspect overall, but I feel like Cammy definitely got pretty spectacular new evolutions. The blue form is an amazing solution to absorption cancellation while also getting rid of time and no Skyfall debuffs. Her cleric form is a strong cleric with great artwork, and as a whole, I think this is just nice to have. Like, I always love it when cards get buffed because there's a chance that something I actually like and utilize becomes a bit stronger, and I start playing with them once again. But if that being said, let me know what you, ladies and gentlemen, think about these buffs and cards in the comment section down below. Do you think they are particularly exciting? And if they were exciting, which ones were your favorites? But regardless of all that, hopefully you all have a truly fantastic day. I wish you the best luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.